Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Jen, your BPD woman. On this channel, I talk about living with, managing, and using DBT to cope with my borderline personality disorder, or more commonly known as BPD. This channel is for those of you who have been diagnosed, live with, are a friend of someone who has BPD, or a family member, or you just want to know more about what it's like. This is a positive spin channel. There's a lot of rabbit holes you can go down on the internet that will give you a lot of either wrong information or super unhelpful negative information from people that have no business talking about personality disorders. And while I am not a PhD, a therapist, a life coach, I am someone who has lived and managed the disorder for the last 20 years. So I think that makes me a somewhat of an expert. You be the judge. So welcome back. Like, share, subscribe. Definitely comment. I love to hear comments and questions, so please keep those coming. If you're new, hello and thank you for joining us. And if you're tuning back in, welcome back. It's great to see you here. So today we're gonna continue on the DBT module of mindfulness. So DBT, again, is a reminder, stands for dialectical behavior therapy. Dialectical meaning the ability to see two different sides of a situation: the good, the bad, the angry, the sad, the calm, the anxious. So living with BPD, often we find ourselves splitting or using black and white thinking to deal with certain situations. And the ability to be in the gray helps manage the thinking that might necessarily split off into black and white to try to keep us to view both sides of something. So let's talk today. We're now on the fourth skill in the mindfulness module, which is participation. So again, I'm going to read the description of the skill from the app that I have. It's called DBT. It's a gray and bluish, greenish colored app. You can find it in the App Store or Google Play. It's so great. It's $10 for life. I've had it for the last 6 years. Participation. Here we go. Just do it. Participation is the ultimate goal of the mindfulness skills in DBT. We want you to live your life as it comes. Being able to fully participate means that you'll be fully engaged in the present moment. When you participate, you are focused solely on the thing that you have decided you would focus on. Most of us have been able to fully participate at some point in our lives. For example, it may have occurred while playing a sport, dancing, playing music. These tasks are often ones that we can participate in fully because they require more than just our minds, but also our bodies. We also have to have practiced them repeatedly to feel comfortable enough with them to get our minds out of the way. I love participate. For me, for my money, participate is, aside from the next skill, which is being non-judgmental, it's probably in my top two things of how to be most mindful. I usually, through DBT, have had a strong aversion to mindfulness because I think the focus is on things like listen to this CD of waves, smell this old book, look at the flicker of this candle. I think those things are kind of corny, and honestly, I don't think they work, and I don't think they're really reachable for me anyway. So participate is easy to do, and it has a lot of benefits. So let's talk about what are the benefits of participating fully in something. Well, for one, when you participate fully into something, it gives you the ability to be fully present, mindful of what you're doing, and have a better recall of what that situation was. For instance, not long ago, I rewatched Total Recall, the original. And I obviously have watched it over the years many times, but playing a game on my phone or talking with somebody or petting the dog or throwing the ball, whatever. And for a minute when I was rewatching this and I was watching it with my full attention, I had turned off my phone. That's one of my favorite games. Turn off the phone, put it on airplane mode and just kind of chill away from the phone. I was like, is this a new scene in the movie? Is this an extended version that I haven't seen before? The answer was no. The answer was that I was just fully participating in this movie, and I was watching it with all my attention, which I had never done before. And so I was seeing things for the first time that I hadn't noticed in the other 10 times I've seen this movie, because I was absolutely just focused on this movie. So it gives me a better recall, it gives me a better sense of immersion, and that I get the entire experience. The second great thing about participation is that it really helps, I think, tie into emotional dysregulation and the ability to find distress tolerance. So, for instance, if you're worrying about something, right? If you're worrying about not getting a text back, or you're worried about a situation that happened at work, or you're not feeling very confident about a behavior that you expressed, you'll ruminate, right? We talk about ruminating, getting on that emotional Ferris wheel. A great way to stop yourself, to get distance from that, and we'll find this later in the distress tolerance skills, is to go engage in an activity to distract. Well, in order to distract, you have to participate. And in participating in something like going to a batting cage, watching a foreign language movie, reading a book, dancing, yoga, working out, these are great ways to separate your mind from the anxiety, give your brain some space and your body some space to kind of catch up with each other, so that you can more accurately and effectively handle a situation. Now, there are, in my opinion, some really great ways to participate in activity, and then there are some ones that may require a little bit more attention on your part. So for me, these are some of the activities that I have found participation to really work. Number one, watching a foreign language movie. If you are watching a foreign language movie, it is really hard, unless you speak that language, to do anything else but watch that movie and read those subtitles. When I watch like a Korean horror flick, or there was like a really, if you like horror movies, there was a great one called Sputnik. It was a Russian alien movie. All you can do is watch that movie and read those subtitles. You can't be on your phone and not miss something. You can't have a conversation and still get everything that was said in the movie, right? So for me, that's a great way to like be totally immersed, and 9 times out of 10, that totally works in me distracting from whatever worry I'm focusing in on. Another great one is exercise. Primarily something that really requires all your attention, like a sport such as scuba diving. I love to scuba. You can only really scuba, and that's about it. You can't be on your phone. You can't talk to people. It's quiet. You're just focusing on the scuba part of it. Yoga is another one. You can't have your phone in yoga class, or if you use an app like I do at home. Those are somewhat. Dancing is another one where you're just totally participating in your body and your mind. It's hard for you to really do anything else. You might chit chat a little bit, but primarily you're focused on that dancing. There are some other ways to participate fully that might require a little bit more attentiveness, because there might be outer distractions. For instance, going to a museum or an art gallery and really reading and like each little curator note on the piece, really taking in the experience of it. There are a lot of other distractions around, but it is a good way to participate and read everything about the art, or, you know, whatever museum you're at. Walking the dog's another good one. You know, if you just want to focus on the route you're taking, walking the dog. But again, you know, there'll be cars going by. You'll hear other people's conversations. It could require a little bit more attention. Driving the car, you know, instead of just, you know, driving, listening to a YouTube video, listening to your Google Maps, hearing the radio, hearing horns honking. All you're focused on is keeping the speed limit and driving directly where you need to go. Participating is a practice that helps us be mindful, but the true value, in my opinion, the true reason to do this is to calm the mind, right? So you're calm, you're attentive, you can be more effective, and you can make better decisions or more effective decisions. So this will be a shorter video today, but that is the participation skill. And I hope that it makes its way into your practice, and that you find it's helpful to you. Let me know in the comments below what kind of participation skills do you like to participate in? What's worked for you? What hasn't? What do you think of this skill? Your comments and suggestions are always helpful, so thank you, and we'll see you next time when we talk about being non-judgmental. Bye.